Hey, what's up, Dean? Super Performance. We are at the shop. And there's not much in here except Monte Carlo. Yesterday I had a Dodge pickup, did a set of shorty headers. Didn't really film it. It's pretty bland. Last couple of days, though, I went out to Ray's house. He's a friend of Mad Hatter, Nathan. And he stripped all the old OEM wiring harness for the engine, the ECU, stripped out the fuse box, and did a very good job stripping it down to the bare minimum that we need to run the truck. And we had 2 days to get it fully installed, wired, and tuned and everything. And we ran into an issue, and it was something I believe, we don't know because we didn't have a way to monitor it, but I believe it was fuel pressure related. Like the regulator was bad. He had like the factory regulator on the rail. We did have him do a Walbro 255 in-tank pump a few weeks back. He did that, and that was when we went out and finished tuning on the factory computer, and then it just consistently had these weird little issues. So he bit the bullet, threw Terminator X Max in there. We got it all done, and it still had some weird issues. It ran better, really good, and then it would act weird, do this stalling out thing. So I made the mistake, and I will admit I made the mistake of not fully informing him of it. And he took the truck yesterday, and I'll insert a couple of pictures, but I believe what happened was the regulator finally took a crap, and he bought a new regulator from O'Reilly's, put it in, and immediately the truck was smoking a little bit on the passenger side. And then he sent me a bunch of pictures, and he sent me a couple data logs, and it was pig rich. So I don't know if injectors failed. I did flow his injectors, and they all worked good. They all flowed a pretty good amount evenly. So something happened somewhere along the line. So we're gonna get his truck back, go through it, see what happened. That's kind of where we're at with that. We don't know what happened. Still runs, has great oil pressure, just kind of puts oil out the exhaust. So it could be rings, could be piston, could be valve seals. I don't think it's a piston because it runs really good in the data log. It still runs really good, but we'll see, Yesterday, not only did I do the headers, but Chris brought down the painless. This is the painless Pro harness, because they don't make a specific harness for this car that's like direct fit, but they do make this Pro harness, and it does bolt right in the factory place. Has the same bulkhead style. Literally drilled the holes out for, you wouldn't even have to. If you had the self tappers that go in the firewall, you could use those with some washers on the head, because they have a little bigger hole in this, and it would bolt it right in. But they give you these bolts with nuts, so I bolted that in, got the bulkhead side in, and then kind of separated the harnesses so that I know, like, this entire section is coolant temp is the light blue, ignition coil is the pink, choke is the green, oil pressure is what did I say? Something. I don't know what I said is green. Oil pressure is green, I think. Oy vey. It's written on every wire. Choke power is red. Maybe green is coolant temp. Whatever it is. Yeah, brown is tack. So we don't need any of these wires out here. So I threw those off to the side. Then you've got this big red, which goes to the meaty fuse that they give you. M-I-D-I. I don't know how to say that. So I mounted that over here. And that needs to get direct alternator power and direct battery power. So I ran the alternator power to this side. I will put a battery cable to this side. Then that big red cable will go to this side. Then the other red is what I'm looking into. This is alternator regulator power. So I believe this just provides 12 volt ignition, or no, battery. This provides battery power to a regulator. We don't need that out here. And this is for alternator light. If you have a light, so this is 12 volt ignition on this one. So we don't need these two wires out here. The only wires we need are this big red, purple starter, and then the front headlight turn signal section. So I'm gonna pull this side off, depin those wires that we don't need, take them out, and then I will go to this side. In there, I'll pull this side back out, and I'll depin those wires from this side, and I will use them for like the Terminator key on ignition, battery voltage. I'll use them for all of that. Because from my understanding, this alternator wire is like a fused direct battery feed. So that'll be good. I may do relays to trigger the Holly, but we'll see. So that's what I'm working on right now, is getting this kind of sorted. And that's all windshield wiper stuff. So I will end up zip tying it up here out of the way because there's no motor there right now. So I'm going to get working on this. I want to at least get this harness strung everywhere it needs to go. I brought all the loom out to raise and left it. I got to figure out how to get in the trunk. I ordered all new loom. I only have a couple of larger looms that I don't think I'll be able to use because they're just too big. It'll just be ugly. So I got to figure out how to get in the trunk, which looks like a screwdriver is needed for that. So I got to do that so I could pull the rear harness back here, and then go from there. And I'm gonna have to look up something to see. I believe the harness stays inside this car. That's what it looks like. And then this is the plug. This is where you bring it out to plug in the tail lights. And then it should be the same on this side. Yep. And it's got a hole there. So that's where you bring it out to plug in the other tail light. There's a couple of grommets I might be able to use in the kit. But we'll see. So that's what I'm working on. Okay, I am headed out for today, but what I did was separated everything out. These come from the inside. I got the bulkhead completely depinned. All those wires are in the box. That's like the oil temperature. There was oil, temperature. I don't remember. Coil power. There's a few wires in there. So you can see I depinned them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 altogether that I depinned. Those are just cutoffs because what I did was just kind of taped them up for now. Where they're going to go is up in these little looms on the fender through the hole with a grommet. So I just wrapped some tape every foot or so, separated left headlight high beam turn from right, and strung those over. There's the horn that's going to go up, clip those shorter, and then there's a couple of clips down in there to hold it, so it'll come out, go over, down, kind of like that, and then across the front and over to that side. Starter and that meaty fuse, whatever, are taped up. Those are gonna run most likely to the frame rail, and then I haven't decided if I'm gonna go down on the back side of the cross member, which is kind of ideal, but his headers, I have to look again, but I think the headers tuck pretty tight. Maybe not, but either way, I got to get it all loomed and everything, so I'm going to leave everything out until it's all loomed. Then I have the back harness all separated and pushed over, and then ran all the way to the back. So it comes all the way back here. Then this is third brake light and amp turn on. So if he has an amp, whatever. So I'll just string those up in there and kind of just dangle them down in there. Then this harness will come back, and it's separated here for left, right, blah, blah, blah. It has fuel sending, which I don't see a hole for the harness. So I believe the harness comes all the way out and then comes across the car and then goes down for the sending unit. Not a big deal. The wire should be long enough. It's really long. So I already have the plugs on the tank for fuel pump and fuel sending unit. I have to take the Holly, kind of get an idea on where it's going to go, and send the pump trigger back. Which I'll do that once I kind of get an idea on where the pump's going to go. Actually, no. That is right there. The big green is right there, so I could actually pull it out of that and bring it over and then get it in this harness and go back. I'll probably have to extend it a bunch, but that's okay. I may even poke a hole right behind here. It's kind of above the rear end. I'll have to look, but I might poke a hole right behind that support and string the fuel sender and the fuel pump down through there. And then it's at the front, whichever though. So I got the front all separated out, the back all separated out. Then I came in here. This is for the wiper motor. So on here, what I did, none of this stuff will really get loomed up that much. So I just put a string of tape. That means no loom, because wiper switch should be over here. Then I have the instrument cluster, which I don't need all of those. I just need most of those. Again, taped it up. It's going to come through there. It's going to go to the BIM module for the Dakota dash. Then going over is courtesy light, door jamb switch. I got this one separated, which is starter solenoid. Oh, okay, so this one actually goes over too. I'm gonna throw this one over because the wires are long, and that is for the column. So it's all the column, the brake switch, neutral safety over there. Then I have these that get pinned in for this plug. These that should go to that, but I don't think they're gonna, so I think they go to that side over there, that big blue one. I have no idea what that white one is. It looks like it, oh, it's a hazard flasher. Yep, that's the hazard flasher. I'm almost positive. So I have to keep that up. Or is that headlight? See, I don't know if he has a blinker, but it looks like it pivots. So I would need a screwdriver to see if you like pull this back for high beam, low beam. I have no idea what that is. I'll have to look. But everything's kind of separated. I got to run out of here, so I didn't quite get to finish separating everything, but most of it is done. Pretty much the only other thing I got to do is the radio, which will string over, and then I can loom that one, tuck it back behind here, and put it back into this kind of factory chase thing. And then I'll just put some zip ties around it, and that leads all the way across the car, so the wires will be nice and hidden. Then after that, it's basically just start hooking everything up, which the front, I have no idea. I don't have headlights or nothing, so I have no idea what kind of connectors go on the back of these headlights. Again, I'd have to look all that up. Don't know if I'm going to. The back, I have the tail light section, and these are not, oh, I actually have the grommet too. These aren't like standard sockets really, and they're tore up, but that's kind of a him problem, so to speak. And even some of them are pulled out, so I have no idea what's going on here, but just have to figure it out and make do with it. So that's where I'm at. Like I said, I gotta head out of here. It's about 1 right now, almost 1. It's getting toward 1, but that is it for the Monte Carlo today. Monday I'll be back and probably get most of this done, because I should have all the lumen stuff today or tomorrow, so I should be able to get most of this done. So for this one, that's it. Appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of new videos. Leave me a comment. As always, have a good day and have a good weekend.